Sarkisian has accumulated a lot of talent.
And this is why you're excited about USC football.
Hogan hit from behind, ball out, Trojan pounce on it.
Adoree Jackson saying adios.
Touchdown USC.
Cody Kessler, a new USC record.
Heroes all over the field for USC.
You better start talking about the Trojans because they have something to say about the Pac-12 South.
If you're a USC opponent, watch out.
Anyone can do 11 Pac-12 Network's football training camp tours presented by 76. Takes a real champion to do 12, and it is our final stop on the tour. We are all about this USC program, thinking about a potential national championship, a preseason top 10 ranking. In fact, an AP poll has him at number 8. And with that, we welcome you onto the practice field. I'm Mike Yam, joined by two men who have some strong ties with this program. Yogi Roth, who was an assistant under Pete Carroll, and my All-American wide receiver here with the Trojans, Curtis Conway. Guys, over the course of the weekend and yesterday, Steve Sarkisian has really been the focal point of the college football world. He had a press conference, apologized for an embarrassing moment at a booster event over the course of the weekend. Because you guys know this program, because you have a relationship with Sark, what stands out about his apology yesterday?
Well, Mike, for me, I've been around football a long time, in the locker room with pro athletes and college athletes, coaches the same way, and this type of thing, it happens. So for me, it was an unfortunate situation. I'm glad he came out and he apologized. Pat Hayden did a good job of addressing the situation, and they're going to move forward from this.
Yeah, well, look, I think I echo your sentiments and also Steve Sarkisian's sentiments about it being embarrassing. You know, I've known him since I was 19 years old. Embarrassing to him, his family, but we've also known him for a long time. He understands how to handle these situations. He's been great with the media. He's been great with alumni, been great at booster functions. I think he knows his reputation took a hit, but he'll bounce back from this. He knows he has to earn that respect back, but I think he will. I mean, he's a heck of a football coach. I think he's the right guy for this job here, and I expect him to earn that trust.
Well, the good news is he has plenty of weapons to get that trust back by earning some of these victories. In fact, he has a Heisman Trophy candidate in Cody Kessler, who's coming off the most efficient season for a USC quarterback, which is saying something considering some of the guys that have played that position here. With that in mind, outside of Cody, who stands out to you that can be a difference maker?
Well, it's Sue Cravens. You know, if they want to take that next step and really become a championship team, they need to really start dominating late in games on defense. A year ago, in the first 3 quarters of all their games, they averaged giving up 4.97 yards per play. Okay, that's a pretty average number. But in the fourth quarter, it jumped up to about 6.2 yards per play. And this team struggled last year finishing games. I think Sue Cravens moving from safety to the outside linebacker position, as well as being a leader now, as a 3-year starter, a junior within this program, is going to allow them to finish games and be that catalyst.
Yeah, and for me, it's a guy that also can move all over the place, and that's Adoree Jackson, number 2 for this USC Trojan football team. A guy that can line up at wide receiver and make things happen. He can line up at corner and make things happen. And he can also line back as a returner and make things happen. You know, guys, I remember being in this position last year and having a conversation with Sark, and he said that he wanted to use Adoree more on offense, but with the lack of depth at corner, he had to use him primarily as a corner. So for me, guys, this season, I'm really interested to see what Sark has up his sleeve for Adoree Jackson.
Oh, Seaway, you're exactly right. Plenty of playmakers. Can't wait to see how Sark is going to use Adoree. So take a closer look at the schedule here. If you're a USC fan, no better place to be than right here on the Pac-12 networks those first 2 weeks, Arkansas State and Idaho. We will have both of those games for you. And, of course, at Media Day, actually, Seaway and Yogi, both of you guys thought in the North and the South would be won by Stanford and Arizona State. Guess what? USC will match up against both of those schools. Tough times in terms of that schedule for Steve Sarkisian. The head coach of the Trojans will be joining us next. We'll get his thoughts on his press conference yesterday and what happened over the weekend. Not to mention, talk to him about the development of his Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, Cody Kessler.
Pac-12 football training camp is presented by 76. We're on the driver's side.
We're all about the USC Trojans here on the Pac-12 football training camp tour. Mike Yam, Yogi Roth, and Curtis Conway with you. Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of the Trojans, joins us. You've been sort of the center of the college football world. I think everyone was watching your press conference yesterday. I've seen a lot of the critics and what they've been saying. Coach, I want to get your opinion just on your response to some of the critics and what they're saying with regard to treatment, because you mentioned, hey, I'm going to go, we're going to get treatment. They say that, how is he going to be able to coach and get treatment at the same time? How do you respond to something like that?
I think the biggest thing is I'm at the greatest university in the world, and I'm fortunate for that. And Curtis knows that. Yogi knows that. We have unbelievable people here in place that can make that happen. I'm fortunate for that. Is it ideal? No, Mike, it's not. But I think it sends a great message to our team that I'm willing to step forward and want the treatment, to figure out exactly to what extent that is. And our team has been awesome about it, and they can't wait for me to stand up in front of them in every team meeting. They can't wait for me to get out on the field with them here when we take the field. So all in all, I don't know if it's a total blessing or a total positive, because there are repercussions that come from it, but I'm fortunate I'm at the university that I'm at, and that this university is offering the support that they're offering me, and that's why you choose to come to a place like USC.
You used the term blessing, and yet when practice was finishing up, I had an opportunity at least to talk to a few minutes with Cody Kessler, who called it. He said in some ways, he said, you don't want this to happen, but in a lot of ways, he's like, it's almost like we're bringing everyone a little bit closer. How does it feel for you as the head coach of this football team to see the response of some of your leaders, whether it's Cody Kessler or Sua Cravens? I saw what they had to say yesterday to the media, just to know that they sort of have your back and there is that support.
Well, I think that comes with who you are day to day. I've never tried not to be somebody I'm not. I've always tried to put my best foot forward. I've always tried to give these guys exactly what I feel and who I am and what I think, and sometimes they don't always want to hear what I have to say, right? I mean, that's how head coaches are. But at the end of the day, when I'm able to stand up before them and say, hey guys, here's what's going on with me and in my life, I think they appreciate it. I think they can accept it. I think they can say, you know what, Coach has always been up front with us, and as much as we've needed him, he needs us right now, and I think that's the approach they're taking.
Is it weird to have your players tell you to do up downs as punishment?
My knee. I don't know if you guys have noticed my knees.
Because our cameras caught this.
That is terrible. You had to do that over, man.
Hey, man. When you get old, you just try to get up and you try to get down. You try to get up and you try to get down.
There you have it.
I'm sore. I'll admit, I'm sore.
Coach, second year training camp with this offense and your up-tempo attack. Outside of the obvious of being comfortable in a system for the second year in a row, what are some of the little things that you noticed with this team as training camp has come to an end?
The quality of depth. I know Curtis and I were just touching on it, but our depth is really good. Yokes. I mean, we got guys. When the twos go in, it's hard to tell the difference between the ones and the twos, and that's what's exciting for me. That we've got people in place and the depth in place to kind of manufacture plays regardless of, sometimes it's hard to go fast when you have to keep the same 11 guys all the time. Now when you have 22, 25, 30 guys, man, you can go fast and it's good and it's fun.
Yeah. Speaking of ones and twos, you got a number one who wears number 2, and you can put him anywhere on the field and he can be a number 1.
Right.
Adoree Jackson, I remember at this point last year we were having a conversation and you were saying, Curtis, man, this guy is phenomenal. I'm going to use him this way on offense and he's going to be fantastic. But because of the lack of depth last year, you had to use him a lot on defense. Where is Adoree and how will you use him on offense compared to last year?
Well, he gives us more versatility now. You got to think that last year we had Nelson Aguilar returning punts. So now Adoree's returning punts. He's returning kicks. He's playing corner. His understanding of the offense is so much more vast. The guy can line up all over the field. I think the real challenge for us is going to be how many snaps is too many. Right? And how many snaps are not enough. And that's what we have to figure out, because he is an unbelievably talented player. He's a great person. He's a great leader, and we're lucky to have him.
You spoke about the depth that you have, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And I know, being a former player, when you have depth, that brings out the best in you in practice. Have you seen a difference in the guys and the way they approach practice?
You guys saw it today.
Yes.
We get after it, and that's what's made this place special for decades. Howard Jones practice field, the Kennedy practice field. If you don't show up every single day, the guy across me is going to get the better of you, or the guy behind you is going to take your spot.
Right.
And I think that we've gotten to that point now. We might be a little young still, but we're in a good place as far as the depth that we have on our roster.
Speaking of the youth in the back end, Marvell Tell is like a special player. Iman Marshall. This is a pass-happy conference. How have you seen the secondary develop in camp?
Well, they've been challenged. Marvell's been fantastic. That guy can run, he can hit, he'll tackle, he's fearless. I think Iman Marshall's physicality shows up. Yakeelia Ross's physicality shows up. Isaiah Langley's physicality shows up, and that's what it takes. In our conference, as much as people throw the ball, there's a lot of bubble screens, there's a lot of hit screens, and if you're not a physical DB, if you're not willing to come up and be that physical player, it's hard to play in our conference, and these guys have that.
Coach, I'm glad you bring up the physical nature. You say, hey, our guys are getting after it on the practice field. Curtis brings up the depth as well. It's something that you've touched on. Numbers-wise, remember on signing day you stop by and say, hey, we're getting closer there. We're getting closer there. How is that changing what you're able to do on a day in and day out basis? Well,
we have 77 scholarship players. 47 of the scholarship players of those 77 are freshmen and sophomores. So we're just getting there. You know, Mike, we're just starting as far as developing a program that is has the depth, has the people in place. But I'm going to tell you what, the 47 young guys we have, they're as hungry as ever. And the 30 guys that are older know the 47 are coming. And that's what makes this place, and I'll say this again, and Curtis knows this, that's what makes this practice field special. You know, it makes it, you have to come every single day ready to play, or the guy behind you is going to take your job. And that's okay.
Quarterbacks have been special in this practice field as well. You were here when Carson came back for his senior year. Matt came back. John David Booty, he had a senior year. What did you and Cody do this offseason to prepare for all of the stuff that comes with being the starting quarterback at USC? The Heisman talk, the All-American talk, and obviously leading and being the face of this team in Los Angeles.
Well, I think the biggest thing Cody's done, he's been an unbelievable leader. He's been great for me. Obviously, even the last 2 days, you know, as hard as those days could have been, Cody's stood right there and been that guy. But from a physical standpoint, his anticipation has just grown leaps and bounds. You know, he's throwing the ball before guys are looking. He's throwing it accurately, and that's what great quarterbacks do. And so I think we're really looking forward to a great season by that guy. And he had an unbelievable one last year. He got a little overshadowed by a guy up north. Let's see if he can kind of duplicate that again and maybe not get overshadowed.
How about your late game mentality? You know, you guys had a finished period all throughout spring. You've been doing it here in camp. When, as a coach, can you notice, our guys, they get what it means to truly finish? Because you mentioned you're still really young with 47 first-year players.
We do it every day, you know, Yokes. We do a finish challenge every day, and we have to. We have to train our guys how to be at their best when they're fatigued, when they're tired, at the most critical moments. And I think it's happening. Until it does, that remains to be seen, and you guys will comment on it whether we do it or not. You know, but that's ultimately what it's going to take. It's going to take us finishing those games that we're supposed to finish. That a couple times last year we didn't.
You know, Coach, when you look at your team, you mentioned a lot of young guys, but we know about Cody Kessler. But give us a sense of some of the other guys who have taken on that leadership role on the defensive side of the ball.
Sure. Well, Sua Cravens, I think, is a natural one. Sua's just been fantastic. I think he's poised for an unbelievable junior season. Antoine Woods, obviously Adoree, what he's done for us. Delvon Simmons is a guy. Don't sleep on 52. That guy can play. Jabari Ruffin, we get him back on defense. We get Lamar Dawson back on defense. So we're getting some guys back. It's exciting. You know, as much as everybody wants to look at the recruiting class and all these players that we have coming in that are freshmen, we're getting a lot of guys back off of injury too. 23, Trey Madden's a pretty good football player, so it's good to have him back as well.
You mentioned Antoine Woods, who will be joining us a little bit later here on the show. Sark, really appreciate you stopping by with us. Can't thank you enough. I mean, top 10 program to give us the access with our cameras. You basically said, look, have at it wherever you want to shoot. We can't thank you enough for the access.
Anytime, guys. Sorry for the heat.
It's all good. Curtis did me dirty here wearing pants. I thought he was wearing shorts. I'm the only guy now at this point. At some point. Cody Kessler, his development. Sark was just talking about his offensive leader. The team's quarterback joins us next. We'll talk about what he's done this offseason.
I like his toughness and his grit.
Incredible passer. He's very accurate, can throw on the run.
Not a lot of guys have a pocket presence like him.
He puts his nose down and he grinds.
He's dynamic. He fits in that offense perfectly, and he's just a really good kid.
He did a great job against us last year, and I think clearly he's one of the top quarterbacks in our conference and probably in the country.
Well, it is abundantly clear that the opposition, specifically those defenses, don't necessarily like seeing Cody Kessler on the other side of the football field. The USC quarterback joins us here on the Training Camp Tour. It's presented by 76. Great to see you. I know it's been a couple weeks since we were down at Media Day. Everyone's talking about you, a Heisman candidate, and I know we had those conversations, how you're trying to manage those expectations. And yet, as we were getting ready for this interview, I came across some numbers that I thought were sort of intriguing because a season ago, the numbers were really impressive that you had, and they stacked up in some categories at least, even better than Marcus Mariota from a year ago, and we know what he was able to accomplish in terms of picking up that hardware in New York. How come you don't think a season ago maybe you were getting the recognition that I think some people were sort of surprised, and now all of a sudden you're on that short list for the Heisman?
Yeah, and you know, I've always been my own biggest critic, and the bottom line with that is we didn't win the big games we need to win, you know, and that's what it comes down to is you know, you have to win those big time games. You have to have significant wins throughout the season, and that's something that we've really put an emphasis on this year. You know, we have finish challenge every day at practice, offense versus defense, best of 5 plays, who's going to win, or you know, you have from the 25 going in, we have to score, they have to stop, whatever it may be. That's because, you know, we were ultimately maybe a minute, 30 seconds to a minute away from being, you know, 11-2 last year instead of 9-4 in some of the games we should have won. But our biggest emphasis this year is that, you know, we need to win those games. We want to win those games. We want to give ourselves an opportunity to be at the best place we can by the end of the season. And if my numbers, you know, stay up the same and that happens and the win-loss record is looking a lot better, then there might be a better chance for me there. But yeah, my first goal, you know, obviously is the wins.
Now, speaking of numbers, you lose a guy in Nelson Aguilar who help you with some of those numbers, but you got Juju Smith coming back and a ton of receivers that I would say the nation hasn't seen, but you're really excited about this group. Talk a little bit about how comfortable you feel. Okay, you lose one of your big-time receivers, but how comfortable you feel about the guys that you have now.
Yeah, there's, you know, obviously, like you said, Juju was a great compliment last year to Nelson, and you know, you always want that guy that, you know, is your main guy. You're always gonna have a 1 and 2 and maybe a 3, but you know, right now Juju's been playing so well that he's, you know, obviously the top guy for us right now, and kind of because he's earned it, you know, and he's worked hard. But you know, like you said, we have guys all the way down that were stacked at that position this year, and we have, you know, Darius Rogers is a very good compliment to Juju, and also Steven Mitchell, you know, is playing really well, and even some of the younger guys, like I mentioned, you know, Isaac Whitney just got here, DeQuan Hampton. These younger guys are still working hard, and yeah, I feel like we're in a great spot right now with the receiver position, and that's because, you know, Juju's the guy, and Juju's playing well, but there's so many other guys that are complimenting him, you know, throughout this last fall camp.
We know that Coach Sarr, Coach Helton, yourself, you guys try to master the specific situations. Third down and red zone efficiency a year ago, you're off the charts. Where have you studied this offseason to be masterful in every specific situation?
You know, I kind of want to take it to the next level, which I did last year a lot too, but I'd read, you know, defenses, coverages and everything, but my biggest thing, and obviously, you know, for ultimately the next level someday, is that, you know, we've always emphasized defensive fronts and what the blitz matters with that. If there's an under front, then, you know, it's more likely for a smash pressure, then that's cover 3 behind it. And I wanted to get to the point to where I know every single offensive line call in the run game, every single offensive line call in the pass game, what they're looking at, what their technique is based off of fronts, what their calls are, you know, so I can help them out. You know, because sometimes it's hard. You know, we're going so fast, and Turk, you know, is having to make the calls for these guys, and guys are having trouble getting lined up sometimes. And you know, I kind of want to be that security blanket to where if they need me, they always know that, you know, I can make a call for them or help them out a little bit. You know, I've even sat down in offensive line meetings. You know, some days I've been doing it. Coach Conley's been great, helping me out. But yeah, after our meetings, I would, you know, finish up and go over and sit in their O-line, sit in the back, you know, and kind of keep quiet, but just listen to their terminology and everything. And I think it's really transitioned over to the field, and it's helped me out a lot.
You know, you hit on something when you talked about going in the offensive line meeting and just seeing what they're doing. From last season to this point right now, what would you say something that you really needed to work on, and to this point, did you accomplish that this offseason?
Yeah, you know, I've always had personal goals, stuff that I want to work on. Obviously, you never be perfect, so I've worked on, throwing everything, little tiny stuff. I went to Elite 11 with Yogi and kind of got a lot of input from Trent and all them, and it was really cool to hear. But the biggest thing for me is that I could always work on my personal stuff on myself, but I wanted every guy on offense to feel comfortable with me, receiver from top to bottom, every guy on the offensive line, every running back. So we would go out and I'd throw with them individually or throw with them in groups, and we would throw and get that timing down. So I know, when we get to a game and it's, the fourth quarter and the time's running out, they know that, okay, we have Cody. I can trust Cody. I've worked with him. I know what type of guy he is. I know what he's going to do in these situations. So I guess the biggest thing is kind of that leadership, coming into any games and knowing the guys can look to me and know that, I feel comfortable, so they should feel the same.
Heard a rumor about you with the offensive line that you can actually make some calls in Samoan.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
A little
give us
bit.
a call? Can we get a little inside?
I can't give it away because some of them are trips, but some of them have significant meanings in games. But yeah, there are some calls we make that we kind of came up with that we wanted to call an offense, so we kind of knew it ourselves because we have a ton of Samoan players and Polynesian guys, and we kind of messed around a little bit and it ended up sticking. And, Coach Helton loved it and Coach Sark loved it. So a lot of our we have like kind of not trick plays, but kind of like little secret stuff that we use Samoan language.
We need that on set. We have our own language, but I'm significantly more blunt, and everyone will be able to understand it. But the funny thing is, because we're going to get an opportunity to meet some of your teammates on the offensive line coming up, and you did tell me that they taught you how to do a little trash talking as well. So that was sort of the other dynamic.
Well, they would say stuff to me, and I wouldn't know what they're talking about, so I'd kind of go up to Soma or Vianney or something. I'm like, what are they saying? I'm like, all right, give me something to say.
Yeah, exactly. You got a little ammo ready to rock and roll. I do like that. Yogi and Curtis were asking you about your off season, and I think a lot of people focus in on the football with you, and rightfully so. And I know when I was in school, it was something that I actually was involved in. I did some volunteering, and you did as well with the Special Olympics. Just give me a sense of what that was like on campus.
Yeah, we had so they had the Special Olympics here, and we kind of did our own version of it. We were out there obviously helping the athletes, talking to them, and it was so cool just walking out of the tunnel while some of them were going to compete. And, you see people from everywhere. They're all over the country, from different, from everywhere. And we kind of decided, that we wanted to do the same thing here. So, there's a local foundation here where there's, underprivileged kids who have special needs, and we brought them in, and I think we called it the Day in Trojan or Trojan Olympics or something like that. And we did football, baseball, soccer. every single sport you could think of, and you kind of got sponsored. You got picked, and you sponsored a kid and got picked and paired up with them. And I ended up having this kid, and his name was Chuka, and he had a twin brother named Chuma. So he wouldn't go anywhere without him. So I ended up having two of them. I posted some pictures of them and hung out with them, and I still have great contact with them. And then they're awesome. They're really cool kids, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Football can only take you so far, but what I've learned is that, the type of person you become because of football, the type of relationships you make is something that'll last forever. Football's going to end someday, and and it benefits me too. Those kids make an impact on my life, and I become a better person for it.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to see you on the football field. I know they can't wait to see you and say, hey, Cody's my buddy.
I'm gonna try to get them a couple tickets if see if we can work that out and get them and their family a couple tickets to a game.
Which would be awesome. I'm sure that'll be an experience they're not going to forget. Once again, best of luck to you this upcoming season, obviously managing a very brutal schedule with you and your teammates.
Absolutely, thank you.
And obviously Cody has plenty of weapons that he did talk about, and he is coming off a fantastic campaign from a season ago. USC single season records for completions, completion percentage, interception rate, and he tied the mark for touchdown passes with 39 and 300-yard passing games. He had 7 a season ago.
Well, his numbers were outrageous, but when you look beyond the X's and O's, really dive into the film room on Cody Kessler, you watch his ability last year, right? He can make off-platform throws. He has the ability to make touch passes, and we've seen that in a couple games. He knows how to manipulate defenses with his eyes. But an area he went back and really worked on this offseason was his upper and lower body disassociation. When his hips were going one way, his upper body was going the other way. A year ago, he was not extremely accurate on critical downs and disses, and that just basically means when things get hairy, when things aren't clean in the pocket, when the protection breaks down, the defender comes free, you've got to be able to make accurate passes. He said, admitted he struggled there a little bit last year. This offseason, he went back and literally would work on every single day in the offseason, making off-platform throws and finding accuracy, not locking out his front leg as he did here against Utah. And I think this is going to be a big area where he'll truly grow this season, become one of the top quarterbacks in the entire country.
And And still to come here on the Pac-12 Network's Football Training Camp Tour presented by 76. The guys in front of Cody are actually some big boys with a unique bond. Ashley Adamson has their story. It's the Pac-12 Football Training Camp Tour presented by 76. It's more than just wearing the same jersey, calling the other guy a friend, or just even an acquaintance or teammate. Ashley Adamson has a story of a unique bond of an offensive line that returns all of its starters from a season ago.
Mike, the term brotherhood is used universally in college football programs across the country. And here at USC, there's a special band of brothers known as the Oos Crew. Teammates in the trenches who share a close-knit heritage and a deep respect for the legacy of those who came before.
Junior Seau.
Sacked at the 35 by Junior Seau.
Fred Matua.
That's Fred Matua out in front of that one.
Troy Polamalu.
This one is intercepted. Troy Polamalu.
Throughout the rosters of the history of USC, it's loaded with talented Polynesian football players.
Mental toughness, let's go. Physicality, come on.
When Polynesians find something that they love, they throw all their energy into it.
Eyes up. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
The rich tradition of Polynesian players at USC continues this season. They aren't all related, but they are a family and live by a code instilled from a young age.
2 words, Fa Samoa, which pretty much means Samoan way.
It just kind of drives our culture.
It's doing things with respect and how to conduct yourself and how to do things right.
And when you grow up in a Polynesian home, you understand respect and you understand humility. And so when you're playing football, there's a respect for the game that you have to have if you want to be great.
Look at that beef up front that they've got. 3 true freshmen starting up front for USC.
Damian Mama, Viane Talamaivao, Toa Lobendan, a trio of Polynesian offensive linemen who made their mark as freshmen at USC and enter their sophomore season with the new moniker, the Oos Crew.
The Oos Crew. It pretty much describes who we are. So Oos is short for Uso, which means brother in Samoan.
Playing next to people, literally next to people you love and people who you're very close with, you know, it's like playing with family on the field.
The talent on the offensive line obviously coming back is going to be great.
Viane, Damian, and Toa, the fact that they're true freshmen last year and that they could come in and have that special bond and play well together just helps the whole group play hard when they're supposed to play hard.
As the fundamentals of Fa Samoa extend into the locker room and onto the field, the Polynesian contingent named their highly touted quarterback, Cody Kessler, an honorary member of the Oos Crew.
Cody loves learning about each one of us individually as an offensive line.
Speaking from a quarterback standpoint, you want to be best friends with your linemen because they're protecting you.
Cody Kessler, plenty of time.
He wants to learn a couple words here and there. We'll have some of the calls on our offense in Samoan.
You know, just certain code words that, you know, in our language that we could say so the defense wouldn't catch on right away.
And he'll make sure he's saying it right. So it's pretty cool having Cody with us when we learn our culture and understand where we come from.
And moving forward, their focus is upholding the Polynesian legacy rooted deep in USC Trojan football.
Just keeping the USC tradition alive of Polynesian players coming through here.
Being able to be here with a little Oos Crew is something special.
What an incredible story. It's always nice to know that you can throw in some verbiage, speak some different languages. I think we're going to try to incorporate that into a couple of our shows during the course of the season. You take a closer look at that Polynesian pipeline, just how important it is, not only for SC, but for a lot of the teams in the Pac-12 conference. It all started with some of the guys up front. Yogi Roth is standing by with them.
Thanks, Mike, here with offensive lineman Zach Banner. Now, Zach, a lot of attention here on the QB, the wideouts, but how about the big fellas, man? You guys are all sweaty. What's it been like for your group in training camp here?
We've been working hard. I love the guys that we have. We have a physical front five, smart guys, returners, veterans. It's a big veteran group, a lot of good guys, and the freshmen are up and coming, and they like to listen. A lot of humble people in our group.
I like it. Well, everybody gets to listen to you now. Okay, we're going to give you the mic. I want you to introduce the fellow offensive lineman. Enjoy yourself. And let us know who the fellow Trojans are.
Okay. I look better than him. I'm Zach Banner with Pac-12 News. This is Chad Wheeler, left tackle. Chad, what shampoo do you like using?
Head and Shoulders, baby.
Head and Shoulders. On to the next one. Toa Lobendan, left guard, left tackle, right tackle, whatever you want him to play. Toa, what shampoo do you need to use?
Tresemme. Tresemme, baby.
Tresemme. Okay, get out of here. Thank you.
Biggest of them all, Damian Mama, second biggest player in college football. I'm the biggest. How did you do today?
I feel like offensive line play was great, and offense had a great day overall.
You look good, Damian. Thank you. And the quietest of them all, he doesn't speak English. Vianney Talameva, right guard. Hi.
So,
I'm Zach Banner, Pac-12 News. Back to you, Mike. Hire me right now.
I am absolutely going to make sure that Zach's dad, Lincoln Kennedy, who is one of our friends and colleagues, sees what his son just did. That might have been the best Meet the Lineman that we've had during the entire course of the training camp tour. Tresemme, the shampoo, that stood out to me. What shampoo are you using?
I think I use the same one, Tresemme. It's very good for your hair, after, especially one of these days after a hot practice, it gets the right texture flowing. So, it's really good for the roots of your hair. So I agree with him.
Seaway, the shampoo that you've been using at home?
Tresemme.
You're on that one. Look, in all seriousness, it is great to have you on set with us. There's so much conversation about what this defense is capable of doing, even though they've lost some of those guys. I've read some of your comments about the talented group of guys that are still playing there. What's your assessment of what's been happening at training camp on that side of the football?
We've just been practicing every day, just coming together as a team, building chemistry, and just building that team defense. We lost a lot of great players last year, Leonard and Josh Hayes, a lot of guys, but we've just been becoming more as a team and just building that good team defense chemistry.
Antoine, I've been knowing you since high school, man, and I've seen you grow up from a kid in high school to a young man now. Now, we talked about losing some guys last year. Right now, you're the leader of that defense right now. Tell me, how have you embraced that role?
Just after the bowl game, I knew it was my last year, and I had to deal with an injury. So, I knew I was going to have to go through some adversity. So I took it upon myself to really just, not just milk on the injury and just come better as a leader and just take upon that leader role, because I've been here for going on 5 years, so I didn't see it all. So, I just want to, teach the guys, the Trojan way and how we do things here.
Yeah, you say you've been here for 5 years. What's been the biggest difference going into this training camp mentally for you than the previous years?
Really the numbers, this is probably, besides my freshman year, this is the first time, we have, I think, 16 D linemen. And, when we're doing drills, it's just like, it's kind of good to see that it's like a long line. Everybody having to get reps, and just watching all the young guys develop. And it's not just, 8 D linemen out there, just trying to get through practice. So you're able to get good reps and just get quality work in.
And not only are they getting reps, but you're getting rest too, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I was going to ask, give me some perspective here, because we've heard this before about the numbers and the fact that USC haven't been at full strength. You just kind of gave me a sense of what it's like for you. In game situations, though, how crucial is that going to be?
Around here, we don't make no excuse. So numbers, we don't want to say why we didn't have as much success last year, but it was games like Arizona last year. I'm a nose tackle. I played about over 80 snaps. So it would be good to have guys to rotate to keep everybody fresh, so we can play at a high level all game.
Antoine, talk about when you play a team like Oregon and Arizona, that high tempo offense for a D lineman, watching you guys try to run off and on the field. Like, how difficult is that, trying to get the right group out there at one time and getting you guys off?
Oh, very. Just personnel situations. Sometimes I come out on third down, and when teams go fast, that becomes an extra sprint. So that extra sprint, and then they get a first down. You got to sprint back on. Right. So that's really 2 plays you just had on your own right there. So it's difficult, but we deal with it. We practice it here at practice and simulate the game.
Antoine, wish you nothing but the best this upcoming season. The Tresemme is working wonders for you.
Yeah.
Send it over to the guy who cares maybe the most about his hair at the Pac-12 Networks, Yogi Roth.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the reference on the hair. Always down with that. Here with defensive coordinator Justin Wilcox. Coach, finishing has been a massive theme since the end of last season with your squad, specifically in the fourth quarter when you look at yards per play. Where have you guys addressed it, and why has it been so critical for this young team?
I think it's a mentality as much as anything, and just everything that you do, whether it's a workout, whether it's a meeting, a drill, a team period. Once you get into the games, it's a series, it's a quarter, it's the entire game, and I think it's just kind of what you want to become. And obviously, we didn't do a good enough job of that last year. Now there's other things we're doing conditioning wise to help us do that also. also rotationally to help us keep fresh and be able to finish those games. But obviously that's something as a team and as a defense we have to improve upon.
So talking about the defensive front, you lose Leonard Williams, but you have a lot of depth there, it seems like.
A lot more bodies that we're rotating in. There's some young guys getting a lot of reps. We need them, and I think it's, you don't really replace a guy like Leonard with one person. It's going to be a collective effort. And again, the nice thing that I've seen in fall camp is even the veteran guys are really working to improve. Antoine Woods and Delvon Simmons, who are seniors, but those guys are working. Greg Townsend's been a great surprise in camp. To see those guys work and improve and show the young guys how it's done is critical, and we need those young guys to come in and give us snaps.
Not a lot of known quarterbacks in the Pac-12, but they're all going to be playing well by the time they play USC. Your back end, right. Iman Marshall, Marvell Tell, as well as some returners. How have they been developing?
I think the camp, the experience thing for those guys, the more snaps they can get, the better. That's very competitive at the safety spot, very competitive at the corner spot. Obviously, Adori's going to be playing a lot for us on defense. He's going to be playing offense, kick returner, doing a lot of everything. So we need to have some bodies that we can roll through there and not just count on 4 to 5 guys. We got to develop some depth, and I think the camp has been excellent for that. And some of those young guys, they might be ready game 1, they might be ready game 2 or 4 or 5, but we need those guys to continue to not only provide us some depth but push the other guys.
How about Sua Cravens? Makes the move to that outside backer, plan on playing that nickel position. What's he been like for this young defense? Because this is a pretty young side of the ball.
I think Sua has improved as much as anybody, and he did so many good things last year, but just the details of the game and the consistency at which he's playing, it's been awesome to see him do that. I think he's taken his game to the next level. He is in this day and age of college football, kind of that strong safety hybrid outside linebacker position. It fits him extremely well, and he can do a lot of things. He's a very good blitzer, he's a good tackler, he's very good instincts in the pass game, and we expect him to continue to get better and better, and he has, and I don't think he's rested on his laurels at all. I mean, it's been great to see him really embrace the coaching that Pete Sermon's given him and take his game to the next level that way.
Excellent stuff, Coach. We appreciate it. Mike, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Yogi, you're not done just yet. Our guys going one-on-one with one of the best playmakers in the Pac-12 Conference. I never like to see Yogi get burned, but something tells me it's going to happen yet again. Pac-12 football training camp tour, and it's presented by 76. Mike Yam with you. Yesterday we were stop number 11. We're at UCLA. Yogi was doing his demo. He got blown up. Something tells me that might actually happen once again. He's standing by.
Thanks, Mike. Down here, one of the most explosive receivers in the game, Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju, you seem like you're a really physical receiver. Where did you develop that skill set from?
I don't know, just watching like NFL players like Andre Johnson, like Calvin Johnson, like them using their physicalness, to beat guys who are smaller than them and to win.
All right, so I'll admit, I'm a little smaller than you. All right, I want to play corner right now. You see a lot of press coverage sometimes in the Pac-12.
Yeah,
a lot of cover 4 bump. When you see that, what's some of the first thoughts that go through your mind, and how do you attack press coverage?
Well, usually I look at my alignment and where I'm at and what my route is to get open, and I look at the DB. The DB shade inside of me that I know that I can give him something, boom, inside, spring the hands, get upfield and restack immediately. And usually I can just
jack
you up, boom, throw by. So, yeah.
Is there a confidence to you because you're so strong? I mean, you're much stronger than a lot of these corners that are trying to D you up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the chip I have to have on my shoulder, and that's my way of winning, these one-on-ones.
All right, so a lot of times you'll see a lot of different coverages, right?
Yes.
Sometimes they'll be off a little bit. So let's give that example. All right, I'm playing corner, I'm playing a little soft coverage. If we get to the top of a drop or top of a route, let's just say we're at the top of a curl route, and it's man coverage. How do you utilize your hands against this type of coverage?
Well, I'm coming in full speed. I'm having eyes to eyes. That's where you're wrong as a DB. If you look at me in the eyes, I'm already won the game.
Oh, I'm already wrong.
So I run, make him turn his hip, give him a little extra burst, boom, throw by, and then come back to the curl.
What's your confidence like now? We watched you a couple times in training camp. Our staff was here today. Is that as high as it's ever been in your career?
Definitely. Now that it's my role, and as a leader, I got to step up because Nelson's gone and George is gone. Me and Cody, we have to have that chemistry, and also my other receivers too. So it's just bringing me along.
Is it kind of interesting because it's not like you're an old guy. You're still pretty young for your position.
Still 18 years old.
Did you ever think about that? You're going up sometimes against 23-year-old corners.
No, I just think about like this dude right here. I have to dominate him, and then it's all about my team. Nothing really how old the person is who I'm going against.
but it does feel good to be like the youngest guy on the team and on the field and dominating.
Well, you definitely are a great example to all young receivers, collegiate receivers. We appreciate the time. Juju Smith-Schuster, teaching us how we can shock people at the line of scrimmage and press.
Thank you, Yogi. Appreciate it.
Hey, Yogi, we're all about that positive juju. See what I did there? Still to come here on the Pac-12 Football Training Camp Tour presented by 76. Something tells me Yogi and Curtis will be talking about Juju Smith as we pick some guys who will be making a mark this season.
Pac-12 Football Training Camp is presented by 76. We're on the driver's side.
Along with Curtis Conway and Yogi Roth, Mike Yam with you. Let's take a closer look. The personnel that will be part of the all Pac-12 Century team. Seaway, voting for you, bud. Voting for you. We're allowing everyone to take part in that vote. All you have to do is check us out online at pac-12.com. As for the upcoming season, some guys that might be making a significant mark on the football field on the younger side. Seaway, you like Juju.
I love Juju. He made a little scratch last season, guys, but this year he's going to put his stamp on this football team. He's going to be the #1 guy this year. I'm looking for Juju to do big things this season.
Co-signing with that for sure, but look out for Isaac Whitney, junior college transfer, mid-year guy, was all right in the spring, but this summer Cody Kessler took him under his wing, and all of a sudden he's pushing for big-time PT. And I tell you what, another guy who's going to get a lot of big-time PT, he's got a lot of big-time pup, Iman Marshall, true freshman corner out of Long Beach Poly, one of the more hyped defensive players in the entire country a year ago. I think he's going to play, and he's an absolute physical specimen. See, I would have loved to seen you go up against him one-on-one.
Yes, but I would have went the other way, but I know this guy is not afraid of any DB. Stephen Mitchell Jr. Heard a lot about him last season. He's itching to get out there and get with a Heisman Trophy quarterback candidate. Trust me, we have a lot of receivers on that list. Guess what? When you have a quarterback like that, all those guys are looking forward to making their mark.
A lot of buzz about Mitchell. I remember you on signing day talking about Marshall, by the way, so it'd be interesting to see if some of the things that you said about him on that show play out this upcoming season. Still to come here, usually finish things out with some final thoughts. So what did you learn? There was a lot that we took away from practice today. That's next. Here's another look at their schedule. Front half looks pretty difficult. Back half also looks difficult with some of those matchups for you. Curtis, I know you and I spent some time in Tempe with Arizona State. You love that squad.
Yeah, I mean, looking at those first two Pac-12 openers, Stanford, #1, that's always a big one. And then you look at Arizona State, who I think could easily be the top contender for the Pac-12 South. I mean, having those games back-to-back is really going to show some kind of character from this team, knowing that they have 2 big weeks back-to-back early in the football season.
And it'll be fun to see how they start, and it'll be exciting to see how they finish, right? They got that Oregon matchup November 21st. LeBron, Kobe, everybody will be on the sideline watching the Ducks take on the Trojans. I think everybody in college football wants to see those two brands play one another.
Arkansas State and Idaho, by the way, those first 2 matchup right here on the Pac-12 networks. Usually finish out the show with a what did you learn? There was a lot going on this football field. I had an opportunity to speak to a lot of the different players on both offense and defense. Your biggest takeaway, Seaway?
#1, the depth. You know, it's been a while since USC has had some depth that's been around and understand the system. And so watching these guys, especially on the offensive side of the ball, the running back position is deep. The wide receiver, no real go-to guy as of yet. Juju Smith is the front runner, but I saw about 3 or 4 guys out there today that Cody Kessler can trust to get the rock, and they can make some things happen.
Yeah, I really like just the overall competitive temperament of this practice field. You know, it felt like back in the day when Curtis was here, when I was on the staff here, when the depth, as you mentioned, is incredible, but just the overall competitiveness is incredible. And I like the back end. A lot of young guys on defense, but keep an eye on Marvell Tell. I think this young man's going to play a lot of football for the USC Trojans.
Yeah, we've talked about that depth. It's telling when you talk to Steve Sarkisian like he did, and he talked about the youngsters. And you guys kept saying, hey, there's a lot of freshmen who are going to be making plays this year. That coy smile on his face, because you know that this train that is USC, as some of these guys mature a little bit, we could be talking about USC officially being back, which is something he had talked about when he was announced as the new head coach. All right, that'll wrap things up for us. Are we done?
How great is ball?
The training camp tour is done. 12 up, 12 down. We will see everyone next Tuesday as we get you set for the start of the season inside Pac-12 football for our entire crew. Thank you so much for watching.